question 23a was a 4-mark question. And the question asked us to outline the issues faced by governments in meeting the health needs of Australia's ageing population. For us to understand where that's come from in the syllabus, let's quickly have a look at the syllabus. The syllabus dot point relates to a growing and ageing population, and there's some things there with regard to healthy ageing, increased population living with chronic disease and disability, demand for health service and workforce shortages, availability of carers and volunteers. Those are areas that we need to be discussing. You need to also understand that students need to be able to discuss the lone twos are the healthcare system and services, health service, workforce, carers of elderly and volunteer organisations. But we're looking at, if we go back to the question, the challenges faced by the government as a result of this ageing population. The key term is outline, and if we look at outline from the glossary of terms, outline is to sketch in general terms or indicate the main features of. So you're looking at the main features of, or the main areas of Australia's health ageing population, and what that means for the government. What issues are they going to be faced with as a result of that ageing population? Some responses. With regard to Australia's ageing population, it is a concern for our health system because the majority of people within our, or the high percentage of people within our population moving through our population are now about to be into that elderly bracket. So as a result of that, there's going to be concerns with the chronic and the long-term illnesses that these people will have. The recognition of, firstly, that those groups will be the major part of our population, and that there is a chronic disease that exists within this group. We need to have an understanding of that and recognition of that in your answers. Once you've been able to recognise that, then you can talk about the challenges. The challenges would include how we're going to cater for those people, and the government has to provide healthcare under our healthcare system. We have an understanding that the government does provide assistance, and the major areas of that would be, major concern with that would be the ability to provide carers and volunteer people to assist with the quality health care for people within an age group. If you've discussed that, if you've been able to recognise that, you've been able to get 7 marks, 6 marks in this particular response. This response has done that. They've discussed in the early part the fact that Australia's population is ageing. They've discussed that with that ageing population goes the chronic disability, and then we need to come up with strategies to be able to deal with that. They've just discussed that there's going to be pressure put onto the healthcare system, and in particular the healthcare and volunteers. That's the areas that they've discussed here. If we have another look at another response, ageing population, and they've got into discussing the healthcare workers and volunteers. There's going to be a major problem with that. The discussion in this particular response is centred around that. Thus, they've got a good result. See that they've limited their highlighting, but they've also provided examples and specific to the response with regard to the governments, and in this situation, federal government. We have a look at another response. This response, similarly, recognition of the ageing population, puts pressure on our healthcare system. We can see here statistics of males and females talking about cancer, and as a result of that, the chronic illnesses are going to put pressure onto the statistics, to the situation of our healthcare system to be able to provide good and adequate healthcare for these people. Areas where people let themselves down, where they didn't have an understanding of the healthcare system, and similarly didn't have an understanding that the health of Australians, the major population group was ageing, and what that meant as a result for healthcare. The elderly can't look after themselves. They would love to be able to age in a healthy manner, and if they can do that with the assistance of families and friends, that will take pressure off the healthcare system. We understand that that's not going to always be the case. So consequently, we need to be able to provide as a healthcare system to those people, and through volunteers and carers. Those volunteers and carers are an area that, again, takes pressure off the healthcare system, gives comfort to those elderly, and makes it a bearable and a comfortable ageing process for those people.